What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another bang. First and foremost, I want to say it feels great to be back. If you guys didn't know, yesterday was my birthday, so with it being my birthday, I decided last week to, just take a little time off and head out to Austin and just enjoy the Lake Travis. If y'all don't know about it, y'all should check it out. And yeah, your boy had fun, spent time with family, and it was a good old time. The only bad thing is that your boy got sunburned. Now I know a lot of y'all like, bro, you black. How did you get sunburned? I got sunburned, man. I got sunburned. That's a myth that black people can't get sunburned. But anyways, just because I was out on vacation don't mean that I wasn't, staying up to date on the NBA news and things that's been going on in the NBA in general. So with that being said, I do want to bring across to you guys this article that I noticed from Bleacher Report. Shout out to them. And the title of it is The 5 Biggest Overpays in the 2023 NBA Free Agency. So with that being said, let's take a look at that and let's get right into it. Alright, so you guys see the title. It says the 5 biggest overpays of 2023 NBA free agency so far. So they got 5 people, and with them having 5 people, before we actually get into this article, please get down in the comments and tell me who are your 5 guesses for the overpays of the 2023 NBA free agency. But without further ado, before I do get into it, I'll give my guesses. So based on the picture of half of a head that we can see, one of them gotta be Jeremy Grant. I would say another one is Dylan Brooks, obviously. Who else? I gotta really think about it because there wasn't too many notable free agents if you just really think about it. Like, it wasn't really too many notable free agents. I know some people were saying that Desmond Bane may have been overpaid. I don't think it's a super overpay because I feel like he's a pretty good player, but it might have been a slight overpay. It might have been a slight one. But man, let's get into it. I done did enough talking. Alright, so let's scroll through it and let's get to it. Alright, so number 1, Dylan Brooks. I think that's pretty obvious, I believe he got paid $80 million. Let me just look into it. So yeah, he got a 4-year, $80 million contract. So I'll read into it a little bit, but I won't just, read the whole thing because we're not trying to be here all day. And it says, Fred VanVleet's 3-year, $128.5 million max deal with the Houston Rockets leaps off the page, but Dylan Brooks' 4-season pact smacks you in the face. And what else do we even need to talk about, bro? As we know, Dylan Brooks, he had a horrible postseason. He was shooting horrible when it comes to just the field and just in general. I think he had a percentage of like 31% from the field, and for him to get $80 million is kind of crazy. It really is, man. And that's not me hating on Dylan Brooks or anything, but like, you got a player like Russell Westbrook who's getting, I think like $8 million, and then you got a dude who's worse than Russell Westbrook getting paid $80 million. So it is what it is, but hey, shout out to him for getting his bag. I'm not gonna hate on anybody getting their bag, Shout out to Dylan Brooks getting that bag, man. Shout out to him. But anyways, let's keep scrolling down. Jeremy Grant. Now, Jeremy Grant, I think they gave him over $100 million, which was wild. Literally, it was wild because it's like, you got a player in Damian Lillard who has been loyal to this team and has been, just hoping that you try to get some type of help, try to show him that you guys are trying to get him, some additional help. And what they decided to do on the offseason is just re-sign Jeremy Grant to a crazy amount of money. Like, once that happened, I knew that Damian Lillard was going to finally request a trade. Once I seen that happen, I knew it was no hope for the Portland Trail Blazers and Damian Lillard's future with the Portland Trail Blazers. But that's just my thoughts. Let's scroll down. Let's read into it a little bit. Yeah, that's wild. As you guys can see, the contract is a 5-year contract for $160 million. That's wild. And let's just read into it. It says a lot about Jeremy Grant's contract that the most impassioned defenses of the Portland Trail Blazers' logic read something like, "It's not actually that bad." There is value in weighing this money against a rising salary cap. The final year of the 29-year-old's deal will pay him $36.4 million. That's about 22.1% of the projected 2026-2027 salary cap, which could feasibly, if unlikely, come in noticeably higher once the league brokers its next TV deal. Alright, so that's what we gotta say on that. But like, let's just keep it real, man. It's not that great of a deal, man. Jeremy Grant, he's not a player that's really, going to make or break your team. He doesn't really make your team that much better or that much worse. And to be honest, they're paying him star level money, and he's just not a star to me. He's not even, a second man up type of star to me. He's like that third. Yeah, I say he's like that third string star, Like, you never want him to be the main guy or the second main guy. Him being the third guy is perfectly fine, but yeah, they paid him a bag, bro. They paid him a bag. Shout out to him though. Like I said, I ain't gonna hate on nobody getting their bag. Shout out to him. Hey, $160 million, 5 years. Hey, he locked in. So shout out to Jeremy Grant. Let's see who next. Reggie Jackson of the Denver Nuggets. Let's look at his contract. Now, he got paid 2 years, $10 million. Okay. And a 2024-2025 player option. So let's read into it. After losing Bruce Brown to Indiana, the Denver Nuggets used their best spending tool on bringing back Reggie Jackson. This deal makes approximately 0 cents. Now, the reason it makes 0 cents is because he barely played for the Nuggets, and I'm pretty sure that's what this article is going to say. Let's see. Jackson, 33, barely played for the Nuggets upon joining them from the buyout market and was not a part of their postseason rotation. He shut down more than 27.9% of his triples, given more court time, but he won't do anything to elevate the second unit playmaking or defense. I mean, I agree. I don't think it's like a super atrocious deal compared to the other two, but like, he wasn't in their rotation. Like, he really wasn't, You didn't see him in the postseason, So, like, I don't think it's a super atrocious deal, but he really didn't provide much for you when you had him on the buyout, So, I can understand why it's on this list, but I don't think it's that atrocious. I do think that, Reggie Jackson, he could provide a little something coming off that second unit. I do think he can provide a little something. He does still have a quick first step, and when he hits his threes, he's decent. So I don't think it's that bad. Let's keep moving. Kyle Kuzma of the Washington Wizards. So Kuzma got paid a 4-year, $102 million contract. Alright, so for Kyle Kuzma, what do I think about it? I think it's slightly overpaid, but it ain't just horrible. Like, he's still somewhat young at 28 years old, and he scored pretty well last year, 21 points per game. So he really coming off a career year, and I don't think it's just too horrible. if we just pretty much calculate this, he's getting paid around $25 million every year for this contract, pretty much. So I don't think it's horrible, but they probably could have got slightly lower, but it is what it is. Let's keep moving. Kyle Kuzma must be evaluated as more of a trade asset than anything else. The Washington Wizards are in the infancy of a long overdue rebuild. Devoting long-term money to a soon-to-be 28-year-old doesn't jibe with that timeline. This is asset preservation at its most obvious. Whether the Wizards actually preserved that asset here, though, is debatable. All right, so let's read, man. Let's read. Kuzma is coming off a career year in which he averaged 21.2 points while really showcasing his interior shot making and finishing and continuing the trend for the most part of holding his own on defense. But is he more than $8 million per year better than Harrison Barnes, who got a 3-year and $54 million contract, or within $8 million per year as valuable as Chris Middleton, who got a 3-year, $102 million contract? Y'all tell me, do y'all feel like he more valuable than those two players? Me, I don't think he is, but you do gotta think about the team that he is playing for. He's playing for the Washington Wizards. As we all know, the Washington Wizards have a horrible track record when it comes to signing players and, just a bad track record in general when it comes to money management when it comes to players. So, it ain't just super horrible, but they definitely could have, lowered it a little bit. Let's keep moving. Jakob Poeltl of the Toronto Raptors is number 5. And let's read into it, man. Let's read into it. All right, so Jakob Poeltl got a 4-year, $80 million contract. So he'll pretty much be getting paid $20 million every year. And I do think this kind of overpay. I'm going to just keep it real. I do think it's kind of overpay. Now, the reason I think it's overpay because, Jakob Poeltl, don't get me wrong, he good. But at the same time, it's like he only can provide so much for you, in a sense. He's solid defensively, but offensively, there is much to be desired. He can't really create his own shot. He don't really got a bag. And, with that being said, like paying that type of player $20 million every year, it's kind of sketchy. I'm just keep it real. It's kind of sketchy. But let's read and see what they had to say about this. All right. It starts off with letting Jakob Poeltl walk was never a realistic option for the Toronto Raptors, not after they dealt away a top 6 protected first-round pick to get him at the trade deadline. That doesn't make this deal any easier to stomach, though. Starting center should be worth $20 million per year in a vacuum, and a 27-year-old brings rim protection, rebounding, screening, ball movement, and an operable floater. However, he doesn't actively stretch the floor on offense, won't dazzle as a switch defender, and his shaky free throw shooting makes it difficult to close games with him in the middle. Committing this much money and this many years to Poeltl looks more egregious on the heels of Fred VanVleet's departure. All right, I pretty much agree. Like I was saying, don't get me wrong, he is serviceable big, but at the same time, he don't really have that much of an offensive game, So with that being said, those were the top 5, man. Those were the top 5. Y'all tell me what y'all think about Bleacher Report's breakdown, and y'all already know what to do. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff, man. I'm out. Peace.